But do you know that your parents can give you up without the church, but the church cannot give you up without parents?
Like I said, you are the one who wanted to do church wedding. Now imagine that you put that money on your traditional wedding. You have to know what it is that you are doing. I'm not saying don't do it, but know what you are doing. So if I say Martha, you don't know what you are doing. How does that sound? It sounds like, how can you insult like that? But then you are doing white wedding, but you don't know that it's somebody's tradition and you are doing it. You don't know what you are doing. But if you know what you are doing, you say like this: I want to have my wedding. I also want to do European style wedding. And then that starts to stand off to you. Why am I an African and I want to do European wedding?
So you actually don't believe in white wedding?
Because that's somebody's traditional wedding. Why do you want to call somebody's traditional wedding white for me? Are you going to call my own black?
You are listening to Off Script with Dr. Ayo.
Hello, and welcome to the show where sometimes we have messy conversation, but there are always ones that matter. And most importantly, there are no limits. I'm your host, Dr. Martha, and without further ado, let's go off script with Dr. Ayo. Dr. Ayo, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad.
Why should be welcoming you?
Yeah, I mean, I got back.
Yeah, regular fixture now, but
I need to feel welcome.
welcome. How you do?
I'm good.
You have me hamdi.
How are you?
Do you want the truth or the lie?
Yeah, the truth.
I'm good.
What's the lie? You're not good.
Well,
How?
so nice to have you always.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Now, I think the last time we met, or maybe it was the time before that, I'm not sure, but you mentioned something about a church you went to as a best man, and the couple was asked to do pregnancy tests, or rather, the woman, the bride to be, was asked to do a pregnancy test. I said it was cool, or you were okay with it. So let me not paraphrase anyway. Just tell me what you think about it.
That I think the question, like, so are you saying I'm cool with them asking
Do you think it's a good thing?
to
But you said it was a good thing.
black times to do pregnancy test?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, right? That's what the church wants, right? Because I mean, if you want to get married and then you decide that you want to go do it in church, that's you. You have outsourced the agency. Man. Getting married should be something your parents give you out. Yeah, if you read the Bible, they didn't go to church to buy.
So doesn't concern you coincided or there or you both married.
Exactly. So if you carry yourself to the church and it just says this is what you must do, do you know that? Obviously, you know. But do you know that your parents can give you out without the church, but the church cannot give you out without parents, right?
Yes, I know churches require.
Yeah, so that should tell you so that should tell you exactly which one is it.
Okay, mother. I'm just saying, if you decide to now, you want to back it up with, well, we are Christians, we're going to church. Whether the Bible said it or not, is that the current way of doing things? So I'm just saying, why would the church require? And then, so in that situation, is it that the church will not wed you if you're pregnant?
Yeah, they won't. Because like you defiled the holy matrimony. It's also the bed undefiled, So so the bed is defiled now, and then now they know.
No, they know.
Yeah,
So now they catch with you.
it always has been.
If you've been defining it before, it's fine. Yeah, who cares? But why did you get caught? But does that really make sense? Because I think if you don't let them get married, so are you saying they should just continue to live in sin, or like churchy guys? So you can tell me this.
I'm not churchy. I just love God, right? And I go to join other people who love God, and that place is what you don't call church. Yeah. So, but to be honest, right? Sometimes the reason why a thing is done is forgotten long after that thing is being done, right? So, when when motivational speakers want to challenge tradition, they will now bring up different kind of stories. Like, say, for example, so my wife, when my wife wants to cook gizzard, she has to do 3 times. And I asked her, why do you want to do it? Why do you do that? So she said, my mother used to do it. And we asked her about that. Why is it? She said, my mother used to do it. They will now finally ask the great grandmother. She now said, the first time there was death on the gizzard, so she wanted to blow it or something. So now that was why she did it. But now we now do it. We don't know why it's done. So sometimes the reason a thing is done is forgotten way after this. But the things you still keep doing those things, right? So I guess is probably sometime maybe stand out, right? Maybe it's just look like, okay, so how does the church endure two human who are doing bad things, right? Should I say, okay,
So now we can't endorse that anymore. So they say, guys, don't do bad things. And then guys say, yeah, we've had, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, you don't trust them. What if they are still doing bad things? They say, okay, let's test whether they've been doing bad things, right? So I think it's just to fulfill our righteousness, to just make sure that, we did not, we don't know whether they are doing it. But the only thing that we can use to check whether they are doing it, we checked. They are not doing it as far as we know. It's now remaining them and God, though. Maybe, And so if you think about it like that, it makes sense. But like I said, you are the one who wanted to do church wedding.
Mhm.
So since you want to do church wedding, if it just says the group should do frog jump, 300 frog jump before, yeah.
So
Then,
you're saying whatever rules we should abide by them.
do you have choice? You
They
want
tell you to shave this your beard.
Oh yeah, and then I won't shave it. I'm not even going to go to church. I won't even go to church now. Why am I going to church? Why?
Oh, so you actually don't believe in white weddings at all? White.
Yeah,
White weddings.
because that's somebody's traditional wedding now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why do you want to call somebody's traditional wedding white for me? Are you going to call my own black? Yeah. So you have to know what it is that you are doing. I'm not saying don't do it, but know what you are doing. So if I say, Martha, you don't know what you are doing, how does that sound to you? Insult.
Punch you. Okay.
Yeah. Do you get? Say, Martha, you don't know what you are doing. It sounds like, how can you insult like that? But then you are doing white wedding, but you don't know that it's somebody's tradition and you are doing it. You don't know what you are doing. But if you know what you are doing, you say like this, I want to have my wedding. I also want to do European style wedding. And then now start to stand off to you. Why am I an African and I want to do European wedding? Then you start questioning. Then you start to have sense, small. Yeah. Because you even now imagine that you put that money on your traditional wedding and on your reception. You can have way.
I think a lot of people are doing that these days. So they just now go to the registry and make it legal. But I see your point.
Yeah.
Though for me, it doesn't make sense for the church to refuse to endorse two people that are doing it and then leave them. So you tell them to go and continue doing it.
No, we are punishing you. You have to go and stop doing it.
Okay, so that to deter others.
Yeah, maybe, probably.
Okay. I just think it's crazy because I've even heard of couples going as far as like terminating pregnancies just because they want to do the church. Like they are ready, but just because they want to do the church wedding.
I'm going to tell you something that I probably once said somewhere. When you tell people the truth, they have issues with it because, the thing about truth is that it's either it's bitter or it's ugly. It's always, so if you are tasting it, it's bitter. If you are looking at it, if it's looking at you, it's ugly. If you're looking at it, it's ugly. So Christians who had issues with people who get pregnant, I can understand. Yeah, you are not supposed to be doing this. You are pregnant, that means you have done it. But do you know that that's why you call it religion? Because do you know that what you should then be doing is virginity test for both the male and the female? Right? Oh yeah, because that's the only. So if you actually want to show that they have not been doing bad things, so do the virginity test. But that's not the test that you do. Why?
There's really no such thing.
But yeah, so I'm just saying, so why are you not bold enough to even do rubbish, but say that's what you're doing?
Yeah.
Right? No, you won't do that. You do pregnancy test. So that's religion. Now, scope it. I'm Joseph. You're Mary.
Okay.
We are chilling. We are like, your parents have met me. You've met my parents. They know that I'm going to marry you. And then you come and say, Joseph, I'm pregnant too. And then I say, this is serious mess up. And I'm like a chilled guy. I don't want to embarrass you, you know. So I said, okay, no, I just go, you know. And so later, somebody appears to me and say, "The special pregnancy, oh, scope it." And I said, yeah. Special pregnancy? And I said, yeah. Okay, all right, let's go. Now, do you know that Mary got pregnant out of wedlock?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. So, and I believe that, you see, I totally think God is really wonderful. And when I say that, I don't say it because, I mean, they brought us up in the church. I say God is wonderful. Personally, I have considered it, and I think that God is just amazing. And I think He does those things. Otherwise, you cancel everybody. You cancel everybody. And it gets so interesting because when Jesus came, the pastors, Pharisees, such as the people who knew scriptures, did not recognize Jesus, the scriptures. Like, Jesus is literally the word. So the people who are scholars, like, we know the word. When the word came, when the word became flesh and dwelt among them, they did not recognize him. So I think God does that so that you can know. So sometimes, yeah, you should know that God loves you despite all your flaws. So you remember how in that same Jesus lineage, remember how there was a particular prostitute.
You know, we're still on Mary being pregnant out of wedlock.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Okay.
Now, so the woman who gave that to the Messiah was pregnant out of wedlock, and the Messiah still came. Oh, so you can argue.
Special.
Yeah. So you can say, oh, it's because special. It's because it's Jesus. Yeah, Jesus came under not normal circumstances. So you shouldn't have issues with circumstances that are not normal because you actually are the ones who actually created what you call normal.
So,
right?
Yeah, these are actually societal norms.
Yeah.
I agree with
Yeah.
you.
So,
and they probably promote things like the way I said people are terminating pregnancies. And I think that's why, we have the kind of laws we have about termination of pregnancy. Though that's a topic for another day. But
that would be an interesting one because I'm sure we disagree. I'm sure we disagree so much on that one.
We will not agree on that one. So let's not fight.
Yeah, no.
But we must fight.
No,
that
we'll
fight.
fight. We'll fight the fight. We'll fight the fight.
I don't think so. But while we're on the subject of marriage, I do want to know, do you think marriage is for everyone?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. Because what's the reason for marriage? So, or what does
companionship, love, procreation?
Then it's for everyone. Maybe not procreation. Yeah, some genes should just stop. Okay.
More and more people are choosing to be child-free.
No. To be honest with you, that was wrong. I have no right to say any genes should stop. You're right. I have no rights. I have no right. Right. But on a dramatic level, criminal, rapists, so should they really?
There's no proof that is it genetic?
Oh, yeah, but yes. No. When you so there's scientific proof, there's statistical proof.
Okay.
Yeah, so science means that we understand how it happens, so it happens. Statistics means that we see it happen. So yeah, so we've seen it happen. A family where...
So anecdotal evidence.
Yeah. So we've seen families where they're just okay. They just don't do crime. And then we've seen families where... the father is a criminal, then impregnated the mother, and then did not even raise the child. So it's not even like there was no nurture from the father to the child. The child still ended up criminal. Yeah. I mean, there's all research about it in America.
Well, I would say that, we're also products of our environment. So even if the criminal father wasn't there, there are other social factors that can actually promote a life of crime. For example, let's say in the absence of the father, it became a single parent household. Maybe the mother is low income. Depending on where they are living, the other adults, it takes a village. The village.
Life is just terrible. Yeah, life is just terrible like that. Because I would argue that the same things that predispose a person to crime are or should also be the same set of things that predisposes a person to compassion. Yeah. If everything was just fine, no crime, then nothing bad happens. If nothing bad happens, where's the need for compassion?
Okay.
Do you get? So, I remember somebody was saying something long time ago, and I just kind of never forgot. Said this man these people, twins, had the same father. Father was a drunkard. Asked the one twin, why don't you drink? Says, because I've seen my father drink and I saw what it did to him.
It's a deterrent.
Yeah. And then they asked this one, why do you drink? He said, my father drinks. Both are true. You can't fault any. The example that my father showed me is to drink, and so I drink. You can't arrest that kind of person. You can't say that's wrong because that's true. And then he says, you don't drink. Why? Because my father drinks. You drink. Why? Because my father drinks. You don't drink. Why? Because my father drinks. So, if you say it's the environment that makes people do crime, it is the environment of crime that should make you not want to do crime because you've seen how horrible it is. So yeah, so again.
Okay, I agree on that note, that particular note. But there's so much.
I like it when you agree.
There's
it's
no.
like,
There's a qualifier, but there's just so much more to it. But yeah, I agree. But are you saying that, so for you, it's just the genetic aspect and the other social, regarding marriage?
Oh, okay. So, I asked you, what's the reason? You say companionship, you say love. I think everyone should have that.
I have family.
They can't give you now.
They love me. I'm loved at home.
They can't give you now. There are touches that are not like your parents' touch or your brother's touch. Or sure, and you need those touches.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right. So you need it. It's how we are wired. It's just how it is.
Okay, but one would argue that it's not, marriage isn't this big a deal in every society. I'm not anti-marriage. I'm just saying
it's not big because they've structured their societies to be able to do things that ordinarily are only done in marriage. So now, so they've removed the contract. But the items within the contract, they still carry it out.
They now have partners.
Yeah, partner, baby daddy, baby mamas.
But baby daddy, baby mama is becoming popular in Nigeria. So don't act like you people are not one of those societies. So don't raise your shoulder.
We were not like that. I can say that. I can raise past shoulders. We were not like that.
Past glory.
Yeah, let's have something.
No, things are really changing. But I would say that, don't you ever, I feel like you may have a friend or two, as guys, that you see this guy and be like, no, this guy should not marry.
I'm just the wrongest person to ask about marriage.
Are you?
Yeah, because my ideas about marriage will just cause problem. It will just cause problem.
Let's cause problem.
Yeah, it will just cause problem because, okay, so I think people should get married.
Okay.
I think that it's a good thing. But I think people should not do it the way they've been programmed to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think people should find maybe whatever basis serves their conscience. Because, who are you without your conscience, right? If you do something and your conscience says you shouldn't, then you're wrong, right? Naturally speaking.
Yeah,
that's the whole idea of conscience, right? So sometimes, obviously, conscience are backed by, say, maybe, for example, scriptures, if you're a Christian, the Quran, if you're a Muslim,
Just a personal code of ethics, depending
Thank you, right? So find it so that you can do this thing that pleases you, right? So that but I don't think that, okay, so I think Portugal has the highest divorce rate.
Oh,
yeah.
years old.
Yeah, really high. Really high. Somewhere 70% up there.
Portugal.
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe that's why Ronaldo doesn't want to marry his wife.
You see?
His partner. His baby mama.
Yeah, So if somebody goes there and preaches marriage and preaches monogamy, that's a failed thing there. That's failure. So they should never even preach it. Because it didn't work. It does not work. So if somebody is coming to say, if I come and say, see these sneakers, is non-slippery. But on my way to you, I fell 5 times wearing the same sneakers. You would be stupid to buy those sneakers.
Of course.
Yeah. So maybe you should pause and think. maybe you should just hold on a little. Like, okay, I'm going to do, but just before I do, let me just think. Then maybe you start to see differently. Maybe you're like, okay, maybe there's something wrong here, right? I think that people should be true to who they are, and who you are comes from your culture, your color. That sounds racist, right?
As in, I'm just wondering where you're going with that.
No.
Okay.
When I say, well, of course, yeah, please be true to yourself, right? But yeah, if you're a person of color in America, you cannot wish away those years of slavery. It's part of who you are. It's part of how you are perceived. So yeah, color. You have to factor it in. So it's part of who you are. How your forefathers did things. It's part of who you are. I'm not saying your forefathers were smart, but I'm saying that you can't throw whatever they did away.
Yeah.
So if you gave me 6 things and I don't like those 6 things, and I go find my own one and I give you back your 6 things, what I have is 1. Right? But if you give me 6 things and I say I want 7, I go get 1 more, I still keep your 6. Now I have 7. So you don't get better by throwing good away. So whatever, even if you are coming from bad, say, this is really bad. Can we do better? That means you still have to hold the bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it has to
As
come,
an example.
Yeah. So it has to come on top before it is whole. So if your forefathers were doing polygamy, yeah, you can't throw it away. Oh yeah.
Okay, so you've gone there because you mentioned something about we shouldn't preach monogamy. We shouldn't go there and preach monogamy. So I'm really wondering.
Do you know this is really interesting? People will tell me, and look, I'm not a pastor, right?
Okay.
Read your Bible, decide what you want to do. I'm saying think. And I'm also saying that if monogamy works for you, that's okay. It does not mean polygamy does not work for other people, right? If polygamy works for you, that's okay. It does not mean monogamy doesn't work for other people, right?
We can't all be monogamous, is what you're saying.
We can't all be anything. We can't all be one thing. That's what I'm saying. So if somebody says, oh, this is interesting. So people will say, the Bible says, so therefore a man will leave his parents and go cleave to his wife.
Yes, one wife.
And that's true, because when God created Adam, was going to give him a woman, he gave him one, right?
Yeah.
So no, because I don't. I'm just laughing because So one time I'm going to come back to that. So one time I have this friend. At that time she just started a PhD in law, and then
Wow.
yeah, and then it's very cool. And so we sat and we discussed this. You know what she said? She said, "Just leave me. You're going to mess my head." So that's what I remember. It's like, this is about to mess some people's head. So Adam, God gave him one wife, and then that wife made us all fall.
Yeah.
You're right. And so that Adam became a mistake. Like, so therefore we now needed the second Adam, Jesus. And so the second Adam did now not marry. So the correction of 1 is 0. If you really want to go by that. So you just up. And Paul said it and said, look, it's better not to marry you because see these women, they will just scatter your life.
Women are amazing people.
Look, ask me, I'm pro-marry. Marry. Don't mind Brother Paul. No, Brother Paul even said, it's me, I'm telling you. So he didn't even make it a doctrine, that kind of thing. Yeah. But Brother Paul also said that when you want to make deacons in your church, don't use people who have multiple wives.
Yeah.
Paul did not say, the ones who have multiple wives in the church, they are not members of this church. No. He just said, please, I'm telling you that use only people who have only one wife as bishops. And the good thing is that when we go to church, my office may not necessarily be in the church in terms of how the Holy Spirit works through me. It might be at my own workplace, right? So my service may not even, I don't have to, bishop is the people who serve in church and coordinate things. That's the whole idea of bishop, right? So I can come to church to be blessed. I don't need to hold offices in the church. And then go to workplace and do amazing well. Do poverty eradication because poverty is so terrible, right? So I'm still being used by God. I don't need church position, right? So I'm just saying that you don't. So if you look at it like that, then you have issues. You're like, okay, so Adam had wife, mistake. God corrected second Adam, didn't have wife.
So we're pro polygamy, right?
We are pro. Know what you are doing. we are pro.
Yeah, politician.
No. Okay, so I will not prescribe.
Okay.
Yeah, I will not prescribe because I cannot prescribe because everybody's situation is just totally different, right?
Yes,
So there's no reason. Oh, so I saw in news. I think it was it Kenya, Uganda, or somewhere about a woman who had 5 husbands or thereabouts.
I support her.
I support her.
She's doing well.
I support her. Now, this gets interesting. Do you have any respect for nature? Anyway,
I guess.
you do?
I haven't really thought about it.
Okay. So if you have respect for nature, it means that you listen to nature.
Okay.
Right? You're a doctor. What does biology say? Human biology says that a woman can only be pregnant once a year. You can try 2, just at the tip of the last 12 months, rare cases. But ordinarily, once a year.
That's too much for us.
Do you get? So if you not even come to, what is good, what is comfortable, is good, is going to be pregnant once in 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. But since we're just talking biology, not family planning in that sense, once a year, right? Okay. Now, it means that woman who has 5 husbands cannot have children for each of those husbands, except maybe spend 10 years to do it. As far as nature is concerned, that is a waste of all of their time, naturally speaking. Right? But flip it, polygamy. 5 wives can be pregnant at the same time. Yeah.
In this economy.
Can be. I didn't say should be. Possibility.
You're changing it.
You're changing. You're dribbling now.
No. I'm listening.
No. And so look at the natural possibilities. One can just happen. The other one can only be forced and try to make happen. So if you are married to me and you are my wife and you are my other wife and you are my other wife, and you say, I want a child from you, you can get it. If you are the woman and you have 5 husbands, all of us cannot say, I want a child from you now. Even if all of them pump, it is still one of them something.
Of course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then now let me now bust your bubble, finally. Here, Christians should be they not used to read Bible, just carrying that name on their head, right? So, Psalm 127 says something about, except the Lord builds the house, those who build it labor in vain. Except the Lord keeps the house, those who do it. And then verse 2 says something about the futility of life, about how it's just sorrowful to have to wake up early, struggle only to eat bread of sorrow, and then just go and sleep tired. Right? And so if you read verse 1 and verse 2, you will just agree because it makes sense. Like, what's this thing about life? We just go and be struggling. I'm just doing, what exactly is the point? The people who have committed suicide had some kind of thought like that, the futility of life. So what is the point? There's no point. And so they feel, let's end it all. Okay? Now look at verse 3. Verse 3 say, but lo, or for some translation say, for lo, children are the heritage of the Lord. That is to say, verse 1 is just, if God doesn't help you, nothing. No. Verse 2 is just, you're just trying. Verse 3, but if you have children, it makes sense. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, but you have children, now it makes sense. So for lo, and he said, the fruit of the womb is reward. That is, so God looks at you and say, Elijah, you've been struggling. You've been all over the place. What can I do for you? Fit more. This one that I just all over the place, just drink. What can I do for you? What can I do for you? Just say, take children.
Okay.
I'm not even done. So he said, take children. And then he goes on. And then he says, for as arrows are in the hands of a mighty man, yeah, so are children of one's youth. Children of one's youth. And then now says, blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them.
Okay.
Bible. I didn't write it. What I was just about to say, thank God I'm not that wrote this still. Thank God I'm not the one that wrote this because you just say,
because you support the problematic parts.
No, I support. Look, let me tell you, everything I try to stay with the Bible. I try. I'm not perfect. I'm just a human being. But I'm saying that if you bring the Bible to me, I yield. I'm telling you. If you try everything and you bring the Bible, I just surrender. I just say, okay. I'm telling you. So it's because people. Anyways, so let me go back. So now, what is a man's youth? First question. Second question, how many arrows fill an average quiver? Quiver is that pouch where you put arrows. You're just like this. You know Lord of the Rings. You know Lord of the Rings. Aragorn. Was it Aragorn?
I know Arrow.
Arrow.
DC.
Yes, Arrow.
You have failed this city.
Yeah.
I know.
Robin Hood.
Mhm.
You know,
Okay.
and then and then I think there was also one other, you know. So you just pick it like pew, you just pick it, pew, that thing that you're picking it from quiver, right? Good. Averagely, the average quiver would take 12 arrows.
That was my guess too.
Yeah, good. And so, your youth, what's your youth?
Probably less than 45.
Yeah. So, do you think one woman can give you 12 children in your youth?
Why would you want to have 12 children?
I just explained now.
Because the Bible says you have 12 children.
Oh, but when the Bible says don't kill, you try not to kill.
Okay, but like in this economy, okay, go on.
No, I'm just saying. So how? I'm telling people who are listening and saying, the Bible says one wife. I'm saying the Bible did not say one wife. There's nowhere that the Bible said one wife. The Bible, 2 Samuel 12:8.
Bible scholar.
No. No. 2 Samuel 12:8. This was after David had taken Bathsheba and did all this rubbish, you know, and God was really angry. Of course. He was like, guy, what kind of thing is that? You messed up. And then said, Nathan, go meet him. Go meet David. And then say this to David. And so Nathan said, God said, you messed up big time. You messed up big time. I gave you wives. I gave you,
Plenty.
yeah. If you wanted more, you should have asked me, and I would have given you more. Scriptures. I didn't write it again. I didn't write it.
I agree.
So this is why I started. I'm not prescribing for anyone, right? Because to be honest with you, I can't even prescribe. I should not even prescribe. I dare not prescribe. I'm just saying that learn, think, right? Because there are many things at play, you know, and I can't even go all over everything. One is that you also have to consider how the women feel.
We will be jealous.
Yeah.
That's one reason I personally can't get into that.
You get. So you have to consider that. So if you are with a woman who says you cannot marry multiple wives, then you can't. Because, I mean, you don't want her to kill you, then you now die. What's the point?
Okay, so the only reason is because she will kill you. No, because I'm thinking of Yuledoche's situation now, where, do you know Yuledoche?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So, you know, in his situation, it's like, at some point, he realized that he needs more. He can't just stay with the one wife. And a friend of mine was talking to me about it the other day and saying that I shouldn't mind polygamy because, you know, you can marry a man that says he wants to be monogamous, but then anything can happen. And then suddenly he realizes that.
So, no. So let me tell you. So I like this because let's be real. Let's be honest. Right? What exactly does monogamy mean? Monogamy means actually stay with your wife.
Yes.
What is the monogamy that everybody parades? Have one wife on paper and have many side chicks.
I didn't agree.
Real. I'm saying let's be real. I started by let's be real. Okay. Are you saying you don't know that?
It can't happen in my situation, but yeah.
I'm not talking about you.
Okay.
I'm saying let's be real. Is that not what happens?
It is. It's what's obtainable.
Yeah. So, point blank, hypocrisy. And guess what? Guess who is more damaged by that hypocrisy? Women. Because the guy still sleeps around. Irresponsibly. Because now, if that side chick gets pregnant, you're going to say, Shebi, I told you, it's no wife I want, you're going to terminate it. And then you do that, and then sometimes people's life at risk all the time. And then you now have damaged women all over the street. Do you really think that is what you want, we want? Fact for fact. Yeah. So you're not even doing monogamy. That's my point. Monogamy allows you to do rubbish. And so you do it. On the other side, women, the ones in the house, they like it. Because I'm sure the wife.
Well, you know, sometimes they don't know. So, I mean, I think we've all seen stories of a man dying, and then at his funeral, his widow discovers that he had two side chicks
You
with three
get
children each or
now,
something.
now, scope this. Do you think that you really like a man who has no spine? So he lived all his life, had children that he denied. Do you know that
He was visiting them.
he still deny her, kept them somewhere, and then
Yeah.
like do you know how horrible that is? Forget the woman. Do you know how horrible that is on the psyche of the children? Children get their identity from their fathers first. So imagine you growing up not knowing who you are or not being sure of who you are. You know how somebody comes and say, I don't take that rubbish. Why? Because I know who I am. So it means that you go through life. What the thing that starts to first give you wins in life is identity. So it means that if something's wrong with your identity, you start with losses upon losses. Why do you think children who don't have fathers, that is identity, why do you think they struggle to succeed in life? Why do you think they are predisposed to depression, predisposed to drug, predisposed to crime? So why? Monogamy. Oh yeah.
We're blaming monogamy for that.
I'm blaming people.
Okay.
I'm saying, so there's what people do, and then there's a name they call it, so that they can keep perpetuating the evil. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, no, banks will not tell you, don't keep money in the banks, because we are using your money. But they tell you it's good to save. That's a lie. It's good to save, but it's not good to save with them. It's good to save where they give you proper interest that is worthy of the fact that you're saving. But they don't say that. So I'm saying that even when people do bad things, they have to find good names for it, like monogamy. Yeah. And I started saying, I don't even care. I don't mind. Just know what you are doing. Because if someone says you don't know what you are doing, you say it's insult. But do you know what you are doing? Yeah, that's the point. So whereas if a man chooses to say, I want to do polygamy, it means that I will stand by my choices and by the women and my children with my children, and they will have strong identities and they will know I love them.
Your 12 children.
Or 14 or 16, depending on your quiver size. I mean, they are big quivers. Yeah, I know. I just come at you because you wanted to enter me. I just say, okay, what you told you is 12. It could be 40. Now, let me tell you something. All right. So somebody told me, real life story. Elderly woman told me that she spoke with her husband's family member, and her husband's grandfather was a polygamous man. Had children, plenty, And then she said that she spoke with the woman, and the woman was saying, that when she got born again, she was already in the US before she got born again. She said, so somebody can say, Jesus loves you. And then she told the person that, can Jesus love me like my father? That father had over 40 children. This person told me that woman told her clearly that they say, are you sure? So Jesus will love me? Can Jesus love me the way my father loved me? So I'm saying that, put that aside with somebody who says, oh, I have a wife, I'm afraid of her, but I want to. You know that experiment? You see life, you people, you'll be lying to ourselves. It's okay, let's not be lying to ourselves. No problem. You know that experiment where you have a cock, after you put a hen, it stops mating the hen. And then you introduce other set, and then it starts. Yeah. Naturally.
Bored.
I don't even know what it is. To be honest with you, I don't even know what it is. I'm just saying that that's just biology. Right? Don't even start with the old prostate thing, how many sexes you have. I don't even want to go there because that's not even my point. But do you know that naturally, a man does not need to be in the mood. A woman has to be primed to want to do it. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying it is what it is. So, either ways, you look at it. You have to come down, okay, look, let's all think about what we want to do. That's all. I'm not saying more than that. Let's all think about what we want to do. Does monogamy work? Where do you know that it worked? It's
working.
How is it working? Because of side chicks that allow themselves to be used anyhow. That's how it works. Oh yeah, they are faithful people. So I mean, I'm not saying. Oh no, baby. Now you know me now. I'm very. I try to be fair, practical. So I won't. Yeah. There are faithful men, yes, and I love them and I respect them, and I think people should be faithful. Yeah. But if you are not faithful, but the only thing that you have going on with you is that you did not had traditionally another woman and you think that makes you better than somebody who's doing polygamy, you are worse. That's my point. So whatever it is that you are doing, shall know what you are doing.
Though you mentioned consideration for the women, like
Yeah.
how would they feel?
Yeah.
So do you think they will feel good about it?
Okay, so I'm afraid of your questions, though. because of the things that they will make me explain.
Explain them.
Now, you know how they used to say, happy wife, happy life?
Yeah.
That's a lie. That is absolutely untrue. As far as marriage is concerned, that's the furthest thing to truth. So I saw somebody yesterday and I was talking, and we were talking, and she mentioned about how she was saying, I think I'm attracted to toxic guys. And she was feeling bad about it because
like that sometimes.
Yeah. And then, so it's very easy to say, yeah, maybe you're attracted to toxic people. You try not be attracted to toxic people. Now I explain to her, okay, so leave the psychology. Let's talk about the biology. This is how it goes. Genes must persist. Like humanity must continue. The way humanity continues is that certain woman must find certain man who will put seed in her tummy, and then the child will come, and then it goes on. That's how it goes. Biology, right? But also, instinctive biology declares or determines or makes it that women must spot only strong men because it's only strong seeds that are worthy to carry. So it's not just about giving birth to the children. It's about if the children come, do they have the genetic constituent to survivor of the fittest.
Yeah.
So if it's just about numbers, about just give birth and you give birth to weak children, they're going to be killed by tigers because they can't fight. They're going to be killed by adverse weather condition because they are not strong. So eventually, the fact that you gave birth to children doesn't mean that the species persists. So instinctively, women would only be attracted to strong men under normal circumstances. Women will attracted to strong men. So what is strength? Now, strength is maybe first physical strength. Does he have muscle? Yeah. They say, 6 pack.
Sexy.
Yeah. So why do you think women find strong men sexy?
Financial strength.
That's where I'm coming to. So now the strength now begins to get educated. So there's now financial money. Because now with money you can persist. Your offspring can survive. And then there's now intellectual strength. Yeah. Is he intelligent? Does he? Yeah. So everything is strength. Now, what is the opposite of strength? Weak.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know weak? Desperate. So what does desperate look like? Without you, I cannot exist. Hello, baby. I just want to check on you. Hello, baby. No. I'm going somewhere. You see where I started from. Hello, baby. No. And then it's possible that without mental education, the girl just feel like, that's desperate. That's weak. You mean you can't survive without me? So why should I give you my womb to put seeds? Seeds of you who can't survive without another person. So that's weak. Wow. So yeah. And so I thought that, no, it's that the fact that somebody treats you badly, you're somewhere in your mind, you are reckoning to it as strength and you're attracted to it because it means that guy can do without you. And so you're further attracted to the guy.
But that kind of seems toxic.
That's where I started from.
Toxic.
I'm saying that it's possible to identify things that we now know as toxic as strengths and therefore be attracted to it. Right? That's where I was coming from. So I have to say, look, it's not like there's something wrong with you. You just need to educate yourself and understand why you're attracted to that, you know? Where was that coming from? Digress.
Yeah, king digressor.
You know, but you know, so if you now say, this is where we're coming from. So the feeling of the women. Yeah. So if you now want to go by the feeling of the women, you would appear weak and desperate. You have to find the balance.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Let me not conclude.
Yeah. So because you can do everything right and the woman still feels like, oh, have you not seen the story as, oh, was it Kaka whose wife left him and said because he was just too good?
Oh, I saw a story. That the footballer.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Look, Martha, I didn't even orchestrate that. Like, me or Ayo, I just sat there in Nigeria. Mm-hmm. It just happened there. Why? Real life. So, and guess what Kaka was considering all along? Her feelings. Treat her good as he shouldn't have. Because now, see where he got him. Yeah, because see where he got him. What did he do wrong? He considered her feelings. He thought that she should be happy. So it is not, what is important is not that you should make them unhappy. What you should understand is that an human's happiness is always going to be fickle, whether men or women. So if you are going to be basing decisions on what makes somebody happy, you are going to be all over the place and lost.
Okay.
So what made Eve unhappy inside Garden of Eden?
Leave Eve alone.
No. Who should I now hold?
She was bored. She needed more fruits. The fruits she was eating, they were boring. She needed more.
Good. Whereas, if Adam had gone to meet God early and say, God, give me another wife. Eve will not have time for devil. Eve will be looking out to get our attention. Yeah. And would have still been in that garden now, bawling. Do you know what's also interesting? So when God came and said, you guys, where are you now? When God knew they messed up. Say, we're hiding, we're naked. Why are you naked? And because did you eat that fruit? Then Adam said, it was the wife that you gave me, that gave me fruit. And the wife said, it's the serpent that came. And so God calls the serpent and say, you just be slithering on your tummy. Yeah. You know, anacondas still have claws, one claw. Science, yeah. So so you can actually find out that there is maybe there's one they actually, well, maybe like lizard or something. Anyways, so calls the snake or the serpent, and then says, you women, this is what happens to you. And then came to Adam and said, because you obeyed and listened to the voice of your wife. So God was so it was like so it was more like God was like, guy, you go let woman they control you.
So what you're saying is do what you want to do.
No.
To hell with women.
No. Protect a woman, right? Do everything. But make sure that your decision is not based on what makes her happy, because what makes her happy changes.
Okay, but would it change from, because like the friend that I told you encouraged me to be accepting or open to polygamy.
Yeah.
Asked, okay, so are you just going to, what will you now do if your husband that's previously said he wants to be monogamous? I said I would divorce him.
So me, I don't even like that angle.
I would divorce
So me, I don't even like that angle, right? I don't even like that angle. I think that men who want to do polygamy should state it upfront.
Yeah.
If you are a man and you are worth your salt, you should just state it. I don't think that you should go into monogamy and then now go and do that. I don't think that's fair. I think that it's possible to start with monogamy and you realize this monogamy is a scam. And then you say, okay, I'm doing I want to polygamy. I think before you find a girl or another girl, you say, sit down, babe, I've thought about this thing. It's not working. What would you like to do before I go into polygamy? I think that's fair. I think that's integrity. I think integrity dictates that.
What would she like to do?
Yeah, so this is the reality. Now,
should she divorce you?
Yeah.
Or stay with you because you're definitely going into the polygamy.
Yeah. So you give the option. And I can say, I want half of your company. And then you just say, okay, have it. Because I've taught you. Because So I totally, no, I don't agree with, you now go and then no, I don't think that's good.
You know me, I'll support just because of the financial compensation. But, generally, I think we're going to.
It doesn't mean that the money will make her happy.
It won't actually, because now you're making her a divorcee. But
no, she can find other men and marry now and remarry.
But she would still be a divorcee.
Yeah, so she just
your Bible that you're always quoting, she said something about a divorcee should not remarry.
You know the funny thing, there is no other than a wife in heaven. Sure, you people shall know.
We know now, but what we're doing on earth.
Exactly. So when you now know that it does not matter in heaven, then you take it lightly on earth. You don't take it too serious. Oh, so this woman whose husband died and now remarried, and now all of them now get to heaven. Whose house we should now go and be packing and be living in heaven?
I don't even think that's the issue. I think the issue is supposed to be about, like, is it a sin for you to remarry? Something like that.
No, I don't even care, because I'm not even going to worry myself about that. I mean, people can discuss about it. I don't think I have I don't know how to explain it. I've not thought about it. I'm not researching enough, and I would not want to maybe say something about it, So I'll let people worry about that. You're right. But say this person has now married 2 husbands in her lifetime for whatever reason, and she's a child of God, and she's not in heaven, and the 2 husbands are not in heaven.
Nobody has husband or wife, exactly. So I don't think it matters.
So if there's no husband and wife in heaven, why do you worry about monogamy and polygamy on earth? Selfish reasons.
Because I want to be happy on earth.
Selfish reasons.
And I don't want to have to deal with jealousy. But then, Mr. Pro Polygamy, do you think that's what I'm going to be calling you now? But would you say that, in our we're not of the same generation.
Are you sure we're going to publish this episode? Because I've said so many controversial things.
I love it. but okay. So Mr. Pro Polygamy. I'm just like
Mr. Pro, know what you are doing.
okay.
Mr. Pro, know what you are doing.
I stand corrected. But I'm just saying, in this our generation, but we're not of the same generation, but you know what I mean. So marriages don't last anymore.
Yeah.
Because I know a couple that's been married for 7 years, and I keep telling them, you people should write buku, because 7 years is the new 30 years, is the new 50 years. So, but do you think that if not me, but if the society was to embrace polygamy the way we've embraced the monogamy that you said is fake, do you think marriages would last longer?
I think so. So I have two answers, all right? Women do hypergamy all the time. Nobody arrests women for hypergamy.
Okay.
Yeah. Men should have the balls to do polygamy.
They're not equivalent.
The equivalent is that if you, a woman, will not marry somebody on your level because it's just an aberration, then you shouldn't allow a man have to stick to one wife. Yeah, it's both biology. A woman needs to look up. A man needs to look at many. Yeah. So if you want a man to look at one, also you to look at your level. Don't look up. Really.
I equate this to when people say, if you can mock short men, then they should be able to mock fat women or something. It's not.
Sure you get, yeah, so it's just the way, it's just that, men don't talk, men can't talk. Women have better abilities at expressing their feelings, how they feel. And then so what is expressed always takes precedence over what is not expressed naturally, right? So men's feelings go to the back and then men just suffer in silence, and then now they now find an escape route. Be inside monogamy situation, have side chicks, especially if you have small money. And then now damage people's lives, damage people's self-esteem, and then throw people out and things like that.
It's so dangerous, really.
Let me tell you what's even funny. So now you, a man now, you're now going to marry. Now, you are now going to go and marry a girl that has been side chicks to married men. And then when you now marry her, she will now tell you that you must do monogamy.
And
yes, now. Yeah, now. I agree with her now because she has married fool now, so the fool must pay the price. Yeah. So if let me even talk.
You want us to perpetuate the cycle?
No. Yeah, you should get that kind of a thing. So second answer is that if people think, deeply about maybe what they want to do, I think they will just be better informed. They will just if people don't just do what they are programmed to do. So I think it's
we're
just
products of our society. So you say we should break out and just do
it. Let's be correct now. I know what you are doing. I know they do. You're just oversimplifying everything I say.
I just want to put you in trouble because you are.
I know.
Anyway, I think we'll just agree to disagree because I don't see myself ever being pro polygamy, to be honest. At least not for myself.
But are you pro? Know what you are doing?
Okay. Yeah.
That's all. That's all.
I'm also pro. If you said we are doing monogamy before now, we must continue. Don't come and say you had epiphany that you should be husband to nations.
But if your husband comes and say, when we're getting married, I only thought I was going to be worth 5 billion. Now I know how to be worth 50 billion. Are you going to say no?
False equivalence.
How is it false?
False.
Epiphany means improvement in your life. Having ideas to improve your life, right?
False.
Yeah. So one improvement is good. One other improvement is not good.
Wow. Okay. I see you. I'll let me let sleeping dogs lie. But any last words before you go? This has been really, really interesting, and I've gotten to know so much about you.
Oh, I think I was revealing myself. I thought we were having a show.
I now know where your opinions lean towards.
Where does my opinion
lean
towards?
You're a dangerous guy.
Where does my opinion lean towards?
No comments.
I'm a Christian. I read my Bible.
No, of course.
Have I lied? Have I quoted the scripture that did not exist? No. And then you can fault it, and you can say, no, the Bible did not say that. I don't know what you show me in the Bible.
I was a Bible scholar like you, maybe I would.
So look at this again. Look at this for last words. So Moses in the Bible, so God said, so if I've had friends, if I've had anybody I have friends, but this Moses, I talk to him like this, man to man. Like God was saying that. I would say, guy, how far now? Guy, how you they do? God was saying that about Moses. Now, Moses was going to lead Israelite out of slavery, right? So, but the way God orchestrated it beautifully, so Moses first had aristocracy training. He was a prince in Egypt. So, so leadership and all science, all the things. And then he now went to the wilderness after he did something bad, and then now became adopted by a priest. So Moses has the training of a priest and the training of a king. And then he was now called and now became a prophet. So Moses was able to do those 3 offices, right? Good. Now, so Moses married there and had a wife. And then one time, now they're in the wilderness and then Baba now took foreign woman. I think it was a Midianite, Cush, fine, dark, caramel. Baba now took caramel, babe. Baba now married babe. Miriam, that's Moses' elder sister. Aaron, then I say, what's wrong with you? Is it only you that God used to talk to? Is it only you that God used to talk to? You're just misbehaving. Is it God that tell you to do this? God now struck Miriam with leprosy and say, shut up. I don't send you word. Bible.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Of course now, it will be vague now. That will be vague. But once again, that's the Bible. But also, there's also Joseph in the Bible who stayed with Mary. So I'm not saying the Bible says monogamy is wrong. I'm saying the Bible did not say polygamy is wrong. And I've given you instances where men loved by God, fulfilled destiny, had more than one wife. And so if God is not going to be angry that you have more than one wife, the wife should not be angry with you. Yeah. So for last words, because you say, what's your last words? Last words. Whatever you're doing, know what it is that you're doing. Know what you're doing, understand it. And if you're doing rubbish, don't go and hide under fine names to do rubbish, are damaging our society. And all of us will reap it because we're in it together. Yeah. If you turn a woman and damage a woman because you made her side chick and you bastardize her, do you know some side chicks have as many as 7 abortions for men? Do you know how damaging that can be? Forget political correctness. Do you know what it does to you that you have a man who keeps saying what you're carrying in your womb is not worthy of coming to life, and then do it. I understand circumstances. We're in secondary school. No, we can't afford. This is not, I can't afford. This child cannot come. Does that. And then you now eventually now give birth. That girl now has a son, no father, nothing. What do you think she's going to give to that boy or that daughter? And then, so that kind of person will still come to society, and then we'll still roll figure and think we are not conspiring for ourselves. All in the name of what Mata said.
Wow, so polygamy is best for our society. You heard Dr. Ayo, apparently.
Why are you doing this?
Thank you very much, Dr. Ayo, for enlightening us on how polygamy is the key.
People should be responsible. Why you even do this? Why you did this? Yeah, I mean, yeah. What Mata said.
What I said, yes.
Yeah, what Mata said.
Right. Okay, so you've heard it all from Dr. Ayo. You've heard how polygamy is key to saving our society. Very, very beneficial. Thank you very much, Dr. Ayo, for those enlightening thoughts. And thank you, everyone, for watching. And we'll see you next time we go off script with Dr. Ayo. Bye.
Bye.